Lesson, we will be talking about shapes on a coordinate grid. So we can use ordered pairs to describe the position of a shape on a Cartesian plane. Now remember, Cartesian plane and a coordinate grid are two words for the exact same thing. It's this grid that we put on graph paper to represent a pattern or to help us determine a position. Arya is designing a rectangular playground for a local park in Victoria. To help plan the playground, Arya drew a rectangle on a coordinate grid. She used the scale 1 square, represents 2 meters. So here we have her grid, and we have her horizontal axis and her vertical axis. She has made each one of her boxes worth 2, so 1 square is 2 meters, and she has drawn this rectangle on the grid. So to describe the rectangle, we label its vertices with letters. The letters are written in order as you move around the perimeter of the shape. So she started here, and we follow the alphabet order, A, B, C, D. And if there were more sides, we would just keep adding a letter until we get back to the beginning. We then use the coordinates to describe the locations of the vertices. So point A has coordinates 4, 6. If I were to look, it goes over 4, up 6. Point B has coordinates 4, 18, so over 4, up 18. Point C has coordinates 20, 18, so I move over 20 and up 18. And D has coordinates 26, or over 20, up 6. There are two strategies students use to find the length and the width of the playground. So if I wanted to then describe how big this playground is, I can do two different things. So the first one is to count squares. So there are 8 squares across the horizontal, and I know that each square is worth 2 meters. So that is going to equal out 8 squares times 2 meters to an overall 16 meters. There are 6 squares on the vertical segment. So the side length, again, each square is going to be worth 2 meters. So 6 times 2 meters is equal to 12 meters. So I can see that my playground is going to be 16 meters by 12 meters. Jared solved this in a little bit of a different way. He used the coordinates of the points. So the first coordinate of an ordered pair tells how far you move right. If I want to know the horizontal distance between point A and point D, what I can do is actually just look at the first coordinate or input coordinate and figure out how far apart they are. So if I take 20 and subtract 4, I get 16. So I know that the playground has a length of 16 meters. I can do a similar thing with the second coordinate, or the output number. And so 18 minus 6 gives me 12, which is the width of my playground of 12 meters. As you go through the practice questions, they are going to ask you to label the coordinates of the shape, as well as talk a little bit about some of the distances between different points. Give them a try, and if you have any questions, please let me know.